Right, we're going live. We are live. I am live. Welcome to whoever is following right now. This is a bit of an experiment. Welcome to La Fabbrica della Realtà. Welcome to my office / my living room. And today I'm going to run a little experiment with you. And in this experiment, I would like to deliver to you just one short video that I prepared for you as part of my presentation skills and public speaking course. This is really just me trying out this medium. So whatever feedback you have, whatever reaction you have, if you are able to follow this, if you are unable to follow this, please let me know. I'm able to monitor all the comments in real time. And let's just go ahead and play the clip, and I'll come back at the end of the clip and I'll field your questions. Enjoy.
Presentation Hero Academy presents your audience lesson number 1 of the 10 lessons that comprise the presentation basic structure module of Presentation Hero. It all starts from them, because your presentation may be from you, but it was always for your audience. Now the question is, do you know them? Do you know your audience? And if you don't know them, how do you get to know them? How to research them? There are 2 cases. In the first case, you have a small group, you have the names. And what you can do, you can wear your Sherlock Holmes costume and go start your investigation. Where do you do that? But online. You can go on the company website where you can learn a lot about their culture. You can go on SlideShare where you will find a lot of the information that you find on the company website, but more condensed in the form of presentations. You can research the company blog. It will reveal a lot more than just the website. And finally, you can see how the company is perceived and the people are perceived from outside by learning about articles in the press. The other thing you can do if you have names is that you can go on social media, but don't be creepy. Like researching people on Twitter and LinkedIn is completely fine, but stalking people on Facebook and Instagram can really be an invasion of privacy. If you have a bigger group, you have to go another path. You cannot research them individually, but you can develop personas. You have to imagine the type of individuals that will be in your audience. Let's make an example here. Imagine that you are attending a conference, and this business conference has basically 2 types of attendees: people in marketing and people in sales. Now, it's pretty easy in this case. We end up with having 2 personas. These 2 personas will represent marketing and sales. But not only that, you have to give them a name. Let's say that it's Pamela and Jim. And they're not just, names. They have maybe a backstory, a reason why they're in marketing and sales, and what they were doing before, and what is their motivation for being in the field they are. But also give them a personality, because they will need to speak to you later. Imagine that you were one of these audience members, or imagine that you were one of these personas. What happens is that you gain a new perspective. The world flips. It's not about you talking to an audience, but it's about an audience that is following you. You have to put yourself in your audience's shoes, but other people's shoes are not easy to wear. So maybe there is a technique you can use. Your audience has wants, all right? They have something that they want to gain by the end of your presentation, something immediate. They maybe want to get informed, they want to get inspired, maybe they want to just evaluate you and size you and weigh you, and maybe they want to evaluate your idea and understand your pitch. Besides wants, your audience also has life goals. They maybe want to become more skilled, they may want to adapt their career, or maybe grow their business. And these are overarching goals that they have in their life. And they want to reach those goals all the time. So your presentation is involved in those goals. You may have made some investments where they have stakes. Maybe they invested in their growth, personal or professional. And this is something that is always on their mind. And finally, your audience has reasons to be there. Quite simply, somebody sent them, or maybe they paid a really, really high price to get into that exclusive conference, or maybe they just happened to see the first slide presentation on screen and just enter the room. Now, you also have wants, something that you want to get at the end of your presentation, maybe increase your reputation. You also have goals, and your goals is to advance your career. You also have stakes. You invested in your education, you invested in your professionalism. But you also have tactical reasons. You have something that you want to immediately get out of your presentation. Now, my process for you is to write everything down, but using a specific way of formulating these wants, goals, stakes, and reasons. And what I suggest is that you use the user stories in this case. So, as an audience member, I want, and you complete this phrase in case of the wants. In case of the goals of your audience, you can complete a phrase like, as an audience member, my goals are. In case of the stakes, you can complete a phrase like, as an audience member, my stakes are in. And finally, in terms of reasons, as an audience member, I am attending because. You can do this for all of the people or personas that will be in the room with you. And after that, you should list your own wants, goals, stakes, and reasons, because these should be really clear for you. What you will end up with is two lists, two separate lists. What do you do then? You have to reconcile those two lists. You have to create a presentation that meets the wants and the goals of your audience, first of all, and then yours at the same time. And it might become apparent to you that your goals and the goals of your audience go in a radically different direction. And if no goal or match, you have to give priority to your audience over your goals. And this might be counterintuitive at the beginning. You have to create the benefits in the areas that are at stake for you and your audience. You have to keep an eye on the desired outcome. And you have to be really clear about the reasons behind your own presentation. Now to the hard stuff. You have to lay out your material and look at it with the eyes of your audience. You have to rehearse and listen to your voice and listen to your language with the ears of your audience. How will your audience feel about your language? Will they perceive your lingo as interesting, common to their own, foreign and interesting, or foreign and non-comprehensible? How will your audience see your visuals? Will they relate to them? Will they make sense to them? And how will the audience feel to your overall style and to the overall style of your presentation? Boom! If you follow this process, basically what you will end up is that the idea that you had about your presentation, you have to flush it, and there is not one slide left standing. But this process changes everything and allows you to put your audience in the driver's seat of your presentation. And this is the key possibility that you have to create a really successful presentation. So in this lesson, we covered a few things. First of all, you have to change your perspective. You have to flip it. Second thing is you have to investigate your audience. either the single members or create some personas if you have groups. Third, you have to understand the wants, the goals, the stakes, and the reasons, and they're all separate, and it makes sense to list them all. You have to reconcile those wants, stakes, and reasons of your audience with yours. And finally, you have to look at your material with their eyes.
Thanks for joining me in this first live. I'm pretty excited. This week I've been preparing the 22 secrets every virtual presenter should know webinar material, and I'm at number 6 right now, and it's coming out a pretty rad presentation, and I can't wait for the 25th of June, 6:30 p.m. Central European Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern New York time. There's gonna be the webinar live, and whoever is registered will get the recording as well. In order to register, the best way is to head over to my Facebook page or my Twitter feed, and you'll find the link there. Moreover, this week I've been going back to some of my favorite books because I am also preparing a lesson for the students of Link Campus University, and this time I want to show them what can happen if you start applying storytelling to business. But for this reason, I really want to go back to the source, and so I'm pretty deep into the hero's journey from Joseph Campbell here, and on the other side, the hero with 1,000 faces from Joseph Campbell, and the hero's journey from Christopher Vogler, and both these books give great insights. And basically, what I'm working on is giving specific examples for each phase of the journey, and obviously in the direction of how to use the journey in order to create the best corporate materials, advertising campaigns, press releases, and how to use them also to structure presentations, as I teach with presentation here. Right, it's been 13 minutes and 30 seconds, more than enough for our first meeting live. Thank you so much for watching, and keep your eyes on this space. If you haven't already, I invite you to register for the webinar that is happening on the 25th of June 2020. Thank you so much for watching. Catch up with you next time, and have a nice weekend.